Hello students, today you're going to continue working on your project. So log into your Gmail, and then of course once you log into your Gmail, you can go to gmail.com. You'll see this black bar and click on Drive. When you're on your Drive, look for your presentation. Some of you might have used your Drive before, and you'll have a lot of files, and some of you haven't, so you won't have as many. Click on your earthquake presentation. Here is mine. When you click on it, it should have saved exactly what you left off. I noticed that yesterday or last time that I did a spelling mistake here. On this second and third slide, it used to be why do earthquakes happen in California? Okay, so make sure you fix that as well if you haven't. Some of you caught that, some of you didn't. You were supposed to have your 3 safety tips. Today you're going to add more things. If you haven't finished the other things, you haven't caught up to this point yet, that's okay. You can watch the video from yesterday if you need to. It's below this video. But this is what needs to be added for today. So what you're going to add for today is transitions. When you click on a slide, you can actually have the words transition or the slide transition. What does that mean? Well, when you click on the transition button here, you can apply a transition. Let's say cube. That means then play. When you have your presentation, it's going to have a transition so it doesn't look as boring when you go from one slide to another. See how it cubed right there? Let's see if I can do it again. Play. So it turns into a cube. It might have been a little glitchy on yours. Let me make it a little slower. You can control the speed of it, and there's different transitions, of course. And there you go. See how it cubed from one to another. Add a transition. You can add transitions for the words or for the slide. Don't go transition happy and put every transition, every single word that comes out. Just try to use one transition per slide. Max. Again, one transition per slide. The next thing you're going to add is, on my blog, you actually were supposed to use these 2 links so that you can add more information about how to be safe during an earthquake. Only saw about 20% of the students use this. So these 2 links here are very important. You need to use a minimum of 1. Why? Because I've taught you a lot of stuff, but on these websites there's even more things that we just didn't get to about earthquakes. So make sure you add them to your presentation. And the extra credit here, asking a geologist, just send an email to a geologist. This is going to actually make your presentation into a lot better presentation, and your grade is going to go up significantly if you try this. It's worth as much as 20%. So if you get to ask a geologist and they respond back to you and you put it in your slide, it's going to be worth a lot of points, almost guaranteeing you an A. You don't have to do it, of course, if you don't want to, because it's still extra, but it's just going to make your presentation that much better. So back to these 2 things. When you click on this one here, today this is a must do. I want you to click on latest quakes. This means that because the government shut down, there's not that much information, but it's working, but it's not as accurate as it should be. But this here is a map of all the earthquakes that are happening in the world, and you can click on it just like I did with the app when I was teaching about earthquakes, and you can find out about the nearest one. I want you to create a screenshot, which means Command, that's the key next to the spacebar, Shift and 4. And then you can take a screenshot of what's happening right now. I want you to add that, once you take that picture, I want you to add that picture to your presentation and explain the latest earthquakes that were happening as you were building this presentation. Because you're going to turn your presentation into a video, you want to show your viewer that earthquakes are not something that happens just once in a while. They're happening every single day. And sometimes they're big and sometimes they're weak. Like, for example, this is a 2.5 in Big Bear, and it happened yesterday at about 22 hours. That means that it happened about 10 at night. So these earthquakes are happening all the time, and you're going to write that down in your presentation. So back here, after you wrote your 3 safety tips, I want you to add an extra slide, one more, and you're going to do more, so don't think this is done. And then write, so slide 8 and slide 9 is why prepare for earthquakes. You can make 2 of them, and then just put that picture that you took a screenshot of. To put the picture, you can just minimize your window, find the picture. Here's my picture. You can grab the gray area of the screen so you can move it around, then drag the picture to your presentation, and then when you let go, it should work. If If it doesn't work, you just raise your hand and we'll help you how to do it. So once you have your picture, you can resize it and explain why prepare for earthquakes. Earthquakes are happening every day. That's a good sentence starter. Write about 2 to 3 sentences here explaining how earthquakes happen every day, and then in the next slide go about into specifics exactly where earthquakes are happening using the information from the site. Say, for example, on October 1st there was an earthquake here and it was this magnitude. On October 2nd there was an earthquake here in the city of, and then also tell about the magnitude. That way, when people see your presentation, they can understand that earthquakes are not something you don't have to worry about just once in a while. They're happening every day, and the earth is always changing. So again, make sure you have 2 slides. If this video was too fast or you need more help, of course, raise your hand or rewind it. Watch it again. Doing it side by side, opening a new window and doing it at the same time is also very helpful. There's more things we're going to add to this. Of course, this is just what needs to be done by today. And if you're way behind, you just need to try to catch up as much as possible. We're going to continue working on this project next time, but try to get this done at least for today. If you finish, you can close your computer and read a book. Have a good day.